kick is a beauty. And a one-handed mark. Play on says the upright, falls the right way. And has put it through. And that is a ripping goal.
They're advancing on full forward. Delivery magnificent.
Burke wants a goal. So does the Saints. Here's a chance now for the Saints.
Well, g'day Saints fans and welcome to episode 15 of Saints TV. Well, today we've got a very special insight into some of the magnificent supporters of the St Kilda Football Club, the Cheer Squad. They're there every week. I love coming and the guys certainly appreciate their support. And Justin Koschitzke, he's going to be going behind the scenes and see what their role is on match day. So that's a very interesting story and should show the people the kind of commitment that some of the Saints supporters get up to during the year. Also, we'll be speaking to Aussie Jones. He plays his 150th game this week against the Adelaide Crows, and thankfully he's free of hamstring problems, and we're looking forward to putting in a big one for him because he's been a great player for the club over a great many years. But as usual, to start off with, we're going to be going to the highlights of the game. Tipping you'll probably be seeing most of the first half and not too much in the second half. So, as I said, some good highlights, and let's have a look at them.
Throwing on centre wing. Burton from behind. Got his hands on the ball. Harvey pulled off the ball. Quick hands by Hayes, making his mark. Pumped forward by Lawrence. Kretz runs the 45, measures the kick and bangs it through.
There's an injury problem, or just the rotation, but out of the middle, Thompson, Hayes. Looks like he's made a pretty good recovery. There's a funny old kick off the left. Aussie Jones, Colbert. Aussie Jones blistering speed. Sets up another scoring opportunity. Heath Black, one of the best kicks in the AFL. Have a look at that.
He's got those silky skills to find Hay. So Lenny Hayes combines with Thompson. Couldn't take it. Oh, Harvey. Aussie Jones, they've turned back the clock, and Stephen Milne, the man dances on a dollar, runs to the open goal and kicks it.
Well, as I said earlier in the show, it's time now to catch up with the St Kilda Cheer Squad. Here's Justin Koschitzke, and I think also maybe a little bit of a cameo role from Max HUDGHTON. Let's have a look and see what they had to say.
Righto, Bill. Probably the most famous supporter in the cheer squad.
We won't go that far, but thanks
very
much.
You know, hang on, we're just having a little bit of the few footies coming in here. The boys are warming up at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, your role in the cheer squad and what you go through match day.
Vice president of the squad this year.
Yep.
Match day, we get here. Half past 10, quarter to 11, unload the van,
yep.
Bring all the gear over here, set up here.
Yep.
Last few weeks we've been putting the banner on the poles here.
Yep.
Then we sit here until about 20 to 2, quarter to 2,
yep.
Wander around to the players' race,
yep.
Wait for the boys to come off the ground,
yep.
Go out, set the banner up,
yep.
And then do our job.
Yep.
Cheer
Cheer them on.
on.
Obviously, sort of a long day, and you know.
Long day after the game, we have to do the reverse, pack everything up,
yep.
Load it into the van.
Yep.
I wouldn't get home until probably 7 o'clock.
Marlene, we're just here on Fox Footy today. We're just doing a few interviews with the cheer squad. Just wondering what your role is as far as making the banner and on match day.
I cut a lot of letters out. I do a lot of cutting
yep.
of the letters, and
yep.
I do the poll on match day.
Do the poll, yep.
Yes, and just support our team.
Yep. Just a very proud, passionate letter cutter here,
oh, yes.
And an important part of the cheer squad. Thanks for having a chat to us. Now, Rebecca, we're going to ask you what your role in the cheer squad, and as far as making the banner, what do you do?
I stick the letters onto the banner, make sure they're all spaced evenly, and yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So we've got a professional letter cutter and a professional letter sticker and spacer.
Yes.
Very important role. Now, have you ever messed up the spacings or
No.
you never messed it up?
No.
So you're spot on every week.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
good. Righto, we're in the race here. No, the boys are still out there, not ready to come out, and we've got Max HUDGHTON here. Now, Max, how's the hamstring going, and when are we going to see you back out there?
Well, Cozzy, I think hamstring's going well. Maybe one more week, if I'm lucky. Or I'll be back against Carlton. When are you back anyway, mate?
Yeah, I'm looking to play against Carlton. Couple of weeks, couple of good weeks on the track. Right, now we're here with Barry, the president of the cheer squad. Barry, can you just run us through your roles and what you've got to do with it?
Well, my role is just mainly supervision.
Yep.
We've got a really good committee that do everything you ask of them as far as in the role with all the treasury work. Bill does all the trips.
Yep.
And the rest of the committee just do everything you ask of them. So my job's relatively pretty easy.
Yep. Now, a lot of people out there probably wouldn't know the heart of what goes in behind the cheer squad. You know, behind the scenes and not particularly on game day, what sort of things are you involved in?
We're involved in when there's ticketed game where we've got to get all the members' tickets, organising seats at other grounds, just general stuff around the club, talking to the marketing branch to see what sponsors go on the banner, just all that type of stuff.
Yep, very good. And one last question, how long have you been president for?
Only for this year, but I was president back in 1971, and
really?
I've been around since about 1965.
Yep.
So.
Re-elected.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks for having a chat with us, Barry.
No worries.
We're standing here with Mrs. Palmer, another important part of our cheer squad. She gets down to training a little bit. Now, firstly, Mrs. Palmer, I'll have to ask you about your camera and the amount of photos that you take.
I take a lot of photos, usually at least a couple of hundred a year. This one's actually the cheer squad camera, and I'm about to take the photos of the banner.
Yep.
But normally I take photos of every player at least 3 or 4 times each.
Yeah, we've noticed that. Now, what do you do with all these photos?
Usually just put them in photo albums and give them to friends in the cheer squads.
Yep. You don't make wallpaper out of them?
No money out of them at all.
Now, just a last question. What's your role today as far as the cheer squad goes?
Mainly to just get pictures of the back and the front of the banner. So as long as I get that, it's okay.
So how did that go?
Great.
No problems?
Never a problem.
Beautiful.
Well, once again, it's time for Tomo's Player of the Day, and you'll never guess who managed to win the nomination again this week. Stephen Milne. Started off with Troy Schwartz, played on from the full back line, got it over to Brett Voss, and Aussie Jones with his blistering speed runs past, grabs a hand pass, a few bounces, kicks it long, and then Milne off the ground. So great play of the day. Also, we thought we'd throw in Xavier Clarke's goal. Managed to spin round on about the 50-metre mark and slot one home. So 2 good plays of the day. Let's have a look at them.
Schwartz. He's a much improved player for the Saints. That's a wonderful kick to Voss, and the run will come from Aussie Jones, who just might turn back the clock. Runs to the point of the square. Milne needs a kind bounce. Can he kick it off the ground? That's worth the price of admission and more.
They seem to be just going around the outside, not going direct, and really struggling to find options now.
Clarke finds Del Santo. 2 youngsters combine. To Schwartz, make that 3 youngsters. Change the direction, not a good decision. Del Santo will come back on the trusty left boot, then fires the ball off. Take 2, back to Clarke. Hammers the ball long. He's a great kick. He's a wonderful young talent. He's kicked a goal.
We've got Austin Jones. He's due to play his 150th game this week. Oz, fingers crossed that you get through training.
Yeah, Tomo, it was meant to come in round 9 this year, so it's been put back a few rounds with a few hammy problems, but finally got there. Unfortunately, it's in Adelaide, but hopefully the boys will give me a win.
Now, can you tell us what happened when you ordered 20 tickets for your 150th game against Richmond?
Yeah, well, that went down pretty well because I did my hammy about 4 days later, so the 20 tickets didn't come in handy. A few of the family's going to get to Adelaide, but that number's come down to about 6.
And the hamstring, it's been pretty good. You got through the game with no worries on the weekend?
Yeah, got through the game against the Kangaroos, no worries. It's been back related, so the backs got through the game, no worries, and the hammy stood up, which I was pretty pleased to get through again.
Now, can you tell us about the pre-season, because you really were super fit for the start of the year. You really knuckled down and did the hard work, and it obviously paid off with your form on the ground.
Yeah, I just got sick and tired of being the player that people expected from and didn't deliver, and it had to come from my fitness. That was the only area that was letting me down, and over summer I picked that fitness base up, and all of a sudden the on-field form comes.
It's amazing, isn't it? When you do the hard work, and the form really was back to your absolute best. So that was a credit to you. Now you've settled down. You bought a house pretty close to the area. Can you tell us how that's going?
Yeah, pretty good. Moved in with a girl and been living there for about 3 or 4 months now, just in Parkdale. So been out in Berwick for a while, and it doesn't help an extra hour of travelling every day. So being in Parkdale's helped, and enjoying my footy, being a bit close, it's been great.
Now, over the time I've been here, I think you're up to about your 7th or 8th car. Can you tell us about your passion for cars and what's been the worst one you've had and perhaps your best one?
The best one I've had is the one I've got now, which is just a VT, but it's got a nice little quick engine in it. So I know when I get up the line, not too many cars can beat me off.
Well, that's important.
Yeah, and I haven't had too many bad ones, except after I've had them, I tend to turn them into bad ones, which is tend to why I turn them over pretty quick. I have them for about 7 or 8 months, destroy them, and then sell them.
That white Commodore springs to mind.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I destroyed, but that happened in a matter of a couple of seconds when I wrapped it around a tree.
Yes, well, we've got to advocate safe driving, and Austin usually is a very safe drive. Couple of unlucky incidents, would you say?
Yeah, I've been unlucky driving. It tends that the only 2 times I've sped, I've got caught, so I've been very unlucky.
Absolutely. Well, mate, all the best for your 150th. It's been a credit to you. It's probably, over 6 or 7 years now?
Yeah, this is my 8th now at the club, yep.
So I hope you have a good one. Hopefully the boys put in a good one for you.
Thanks, Tomo.
Good on you, mate. Well, it's time again for Saints Scoreboard, and as usual there are a couple of things coming up on the horizon. So we would just like to remind you about the Breast Cancer Night, which is being held at the Kingston City Hall. It's the St Kilda Football Club in association with the Peter McCallum Breast Cancer Institute, and Stuart Lowe and Annie Lowe are going to be there to tell them about their experiences with breast cancer. As I said, it's at the Kingston City Hall, formerly Moorabbin Town Hall. It's at 7:30 on Wednesday the 10th of July. And also a very big night on the St Kilda calendar. It is the annual banquet auction, and once again this year it's going to be held at the Palladium at Crown. It's on Friday the 26th of July, starts at 7 o'clock. The dress is a lounge suit. Tickets are $132 each, or $1,200 for a table of 10. And if you're interested and like to purchase a ticket, you can contact the club on 9559 6688. And it is always a great night and well worth getting to. Well, that's all we got time for on this week's episode of Saints TV, and that is Nick Rewald, who you might see down at the city bars, the Brighton bars, because he's got a little bit of interest down there now. We were, of course, very lucky to be joined by Austin Jones, as well as the St Kilda president Rod Butters, and make sure you tune in to Fox Footy this week, this Saturday night. It's against the Crows at Football Park. That's if you can't get across to Adelaide to see the game live. Well, I've just about had enough of this, and I'll see you next week. See you then.